away we go. Another edition of Coach Speak. Great to be with you. There's Ira. There's Corey. Ben, as always, putting together the clips for us, and we thank our friends at Artezia Water. Before we get started, we'll tell you more about them momentarily, but of course, always check out arteziawater.com. Ben, first up on the docket is whom?
Yeah, I've kind of been going back and forth. You know, there's not one that really jumps out. So I think we're going to mix it up a little bit this week. We're going to start with two basketball coaches. So we're going to start with everyone's favorite psychopathic college basketball coach. That's Dan Hurley.
Yes.
And he's pissed off with his team's performance, but they won 81-46. So I guess this is what a championship program looks like, guys. This is Dan Hurley.
Yeah, so, just comically bad. The second half rebounding so far below standard. Ball security throughout the game. It's been a long time since we've been that bad. To go a negative assist to turnover ratio. I mean, we're one of the, we're one of the best passing and ball security teams in the country. So, I think at times we played hard, but once we got up to 37 with 12 minutes to go, and it turned into just a debacle out there, and just played so far, below the standard, just across the board. Older players, younger players,
they all
some
suck.
steps backwards. But it's going to happen. It's we're relying on some young players, and obviously we can't have too many games where Alex takes 5 shots in 30 minutes. So he's got to be more assertive out there. But the amount of times we were driven, the second half rebounding, and obviously the turnovers and just the sloppiness was just I'm happy the game's over.
Oh,
I was waiting for him to just drop a great one there at the end.
I don't know how, what would you follow up with in terms of a question? Would you even indulge him?
I like that he admitted that it does happen, because sometimes coaches, when you'll ask them, I mean, is that kind of normal? You're playing a team that you're overmatched, they're overmatched, and it's hard to keep guys focused. And most coaches will say, that can't ever happen. We can't ever, it's not about the opponent, it's about us. And he's like, yeah, it does happen. So at least he acknowledged that. There was an ounce of humanity in that man, which I wasn't sure existed.
I liked it at the beginning. You can tell he puts his head down and he's so defeated that it looks like he goes to rub his hair.
Yeah.
There's no hair there.
Yeah.
And we've all been there, Jeff. There were times, I'm sure, where someone that loses a limb and you can still feel it tingle or something. There's still guys, some of us still want to go rub our hair and grab our hair in frustration, and there's nothing to grab. And that's exactly what happened. He forgot that he was bald there. That's how bad that game was for them, that 32-point win, that he forgot he was bald.
I find him detestable to begin with, and then that I would have a hard time covering that team, even though they win all the time.
How about whoever did that press conference too? Did they sneak into the press conference? Have you ever seen an angle from a real media outlet that was over to the left that? That was bizarre, high and to the left.
Corey, you're coming a little hot, man. Can you maybe move the mic a little way, a little bit, just a
How about now? How about now?
Fired up. He was fired up with that first clip.
Dan Hurley got you going.
Then clip number 2.
All right, let's go to the NBA now. Everyone's favorite insane NBA coach, Joe Mazulla, and he was asked about some former assistants who have gone on to take new jobs, and he says they're not friends anymore.
So that's you really haven't kind of gotten closer to anybody.
That's close but cordial. I mean, I reach out to a few after certain things. I've had different relationships with guys, so there's a cordiality there, but it's very important not to give away psychological tells and things that can lead to an opportunity to give away a psychological lead. So just try to be cordial without giving away those psychological components.
So you'd be that kind of the friendshipy thing. You think it gives an edge potentially?
It can, yeah, for sure. Yeah, no question.
I mean, people would probably love to hear that.
Charles, I told Charles when he left, I'm not talking to you during the season. I'm not waving to you at the national anthem, just not doing that. You've now, you're an enemy. And so he came into the locker. He breached rules, NBA rules, and came into the assistant coach's locker room and forced me to give him a hug, which that could easily be a psychological tell that knocks you off your game competitively. So he knew what he was doing.
I can't tell. Is he totally serious?
He is serious. Also, I can't tell if the person holding the camera was on a tightrope. Like, hold still, dude. Get it together. But yeah, that's gonna be fun to live with.
I didn't know he was that much of a psychopath.
Oh, he's locked in, buddy.
We're starting to gather some information on that. What was I can't remember the last time we had him on, but it was somewhat similar. I felt like there's an intensity about that guy it's cool, man. It's all. I mean, listen, man. That's why he's probably successful. But it's seems a little.
But he's not a boxer. Like he's a coach. Like, how could he still being polite to a former coach?
Yeah,
have anything to do with the 48 minutes on the court?
Yeah, you don't have to hug and embrace before the game. I got you. But just how you doing doesn't give anything away. Hate to tell you.
The psychological tell.
There's no tell.
What does that mean?
The guy's gonna realize, oh, wait a minute, his shooting guard has been off this week. We can leave him open. We don't have to guard that guy.
I mean, at the end of the day, he has Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown in really good players. Derek White, like, they're the reigning NBA champs. You can tell them, hey, Tatum and Brown are going to shoot 25 times a game. Good luck. We're a lot better than you. He's got Drew Holiday. He's got the best team in the league. That's nuts.
It's really kind of weird. And the reporter was uncomfortable. He wanted to follow up, but he realized, like, your man wasn't joking. He was locked in.
I think he was trying to figure out if he was serious. And then at the end, he started to say, well, the fans are going to love that. Yeah. Because, man, that's what fans want. They want a coach who wants to slit the throat of the other team. Yeah. So we'll see how that works out.
You think him saying the fans are going to love that is his way of saying, you're effing nuts?
Oh, I think very possible.
100%. Yes. Meanwhile, every player in the NBA has a podcast, and they go on each other's podcasts.
Yeah.
But let's not give away any psychological tells to the assistant on the other team.
They play golf together before the game.
They go to the club after the game.
Yeah. Ben, what do we got for number 3?
It was kind of hard to hear, but at the end, another reporter asked, was it at least a good hug? And he says no.
Oh, that's funny.
All right, we'll do one more crazy basketball coach, and then we'll go to football, I promise, guys. But this is Mick Cronin. Early season loss to New Mexico. I missed this one last week. Shout out to Jeff Mann for sending this to me. But this is Mick Cronin talking about his teams, and he blames turnovers for the loss, which is weird because New Mexico had 3 more than his team did. But, here's our guy, Mick Cronin. Again, probably not the last time we're going to hear from Mick this season.
Hard to win a game when you shoot like that and have 21 turnovers.
21 turnovers.
21 turnovers. Yeah.
21 turnovers. No. You can't beat it's hard to beat Division II teams with 21 turnovers. So obviously extremely disappointed.
Take my pants off. I'm disappointed.
I'm sorry. I think I know.
And some of our guards.
Yeah,
disappointed in our taking care of. The 3 things you got to do: defend, rebound, take care of the ball. We didn't defend. We didn't take care of the ball. So we didn't really rebound early either. We started rebounding, but we didn't rebound early. They're 9 for their first 11. We tried to explain to our guys. We got a lot of new guys that they don't understand when you put the UCLA jersey on. And you play a team like New Mexico who went to the NCAA tournament last year. We have one guy that played in the NCAA tournament last year, William Kyle. They have a bunch of them, and they have a bunch of guys from the West Coast. You put that UCLA jersey on, kids grew up hearing about all the great players in UCLA, and they are coming.
Bill Walton.
And we were not ready for their intensity.
Lou Alcindor.
And at the end of the day,
Reggie Miller.
That's what they pay me for. So we tried, but they don't listen. They
Ed
do not
O'Bannon.
listen.
Charles
They
O'Bannon.
learn the hard
The
way.
O'Bannon brothers.
But ultimately, I don't blame them. I blame the coaching staff. got to make sure they're ready. We weren't ready for the intensity of this game. Our guys, you could see clearly, it was very obvious. I mean, Sebastian Max just letting people take the ball from him. I mean, he's anything but a soft kid. So
he's just like, here, you want it?
Yeah, take it. Take it. I don't want it.
They take the ball from him.
Yeah.
He's incredulous.
That's what Mick's going to be a fun guy to cover throughout the course of the show. We've had him on before, and I think, man, I think he's insulted that he's standing in a hallway at New Mexico.
He's also a little insulted by that reporter not having his papers together at the beginning there. All that flipping with the papers. He was getting annoyed, you could tell.
This is not why he took the UCLA job.
You would think UCLA, number one, it looked like there was just one reporter there, which is fine. It's a road game at New Mexico in November. I get it. The times are tough for traditional media. But what's with the backdrop?
Yeah.
They don't bring their
somewhere.
own, but they couldn't tape something up. Like usually everybody does that. It's just that's got to be the first time since John Wooden's second year that they've had a post-game press conference that looked like that.
They won 84-70 over Idaho State the other night, guys. So you can.
So they bounced back. How many turnovers?
Didn't see. It was a dead even game in the second half. So I'm sure he's upset about that. I do want to point out for everybody out there that he's referencing and we were kind of having fun at his expense, rightfully so, the lore of UCLA basketball. Should be noted they have not won a championship since 1995. And prior to that, they last won it in 1975. So
I mean, that's the thing. Yeah, the idea that kids grow up like today's generation of kids are sitting there going, man, I can't wait till we play UCLA.
Well, the bottom line is, Ira, if you're 28 years old, you've never seen UCLA do a damn thing.
Right.
Even if you're 30. 35. Well, you could have been 5 when they won the championship.
You're almost 40 years old, and you don't remember UCLA doing a damn thing. That one blip on the radar in 95, that's it.
Yeah, that is it. Who was and Herrick was their coach, right?
Yeah.
Was Herrick their coach?
I think so.
Yeah.
And John Wooden cheated too. Well, what are you going to do, everyone? He did. He did. He had
cheated his ass off, by the way.
Come on now.
Yeah. Nonsense. It's a shame. And it's a sham. It's nonsense. Take all of UCLA's titles.
You're right. At least give that one to Florida State.
The stupid pyramid of success. Throw it in the garbage.
Yeah. You just get a lot of money and pay for the best guys on the West Coast.
Yeah. What do we got, Ben?
Yeah, guys, I'm 30. I don't remember UCLA ever being worth a damn. So let's go to college football now. That's what everyone's here for. And our guy Luke Fickell, head coach at Wisconsin, they just made some coaching changes, but don't ask him about it. Don't ask who Phil Longo's replacement will be as a play caller. It's not important.
Who's going to be calling plays for the rest of the season and why that particular person?
Why does it matter? Right.
That's
I mean,
fair.
The offense will, be run, and those guys will do a lot of things collaboratively together. And I don't think it really is important as to who is calling it. I guess
None
it
of
gives
this
you
is
the
important.
ability to point a finger at somebody if that's the case. But it's not one of those things I think is that important. Sometimes I think it's overrated in some ways. But it'll be a collaborative group, and those guys will have to work a lot together.
That guy sucks right off the bat. What are we doing here?
Why would that be a secret? That doesn't make any sense.
He's being an asshole. There's no reason for that. Answer the question. Don't be a dick.
I think he doesn't like the answer he'd have to give. Like, I don't think he wants to admit whoever it is. Like, he fired this coach in the middle of a season. Okay, so what's your answer? And if it's just to, have some, analyst that nobody's ever heard of calling plays, then maybe he's never done it before. Maybe he doesn't want to admit to that.
Well, they scored 13 points against Oregon, and that'll hurt his feelings. But, I mean, you got to answer the question about your offense, man.
Well, I don't like the reasoning of why is that important? Well, man, why is any of this important?
Right.
Why are you sitting there talking to us about a stupid game with an oblong ball and dumb yard lines? Like, why is any of this important? That's a crazy answer. Theoretically, there's a lot of people interested in Wisconsin football, my man.
Yeah,
why do you get paid a ton of money?
Yeah, I was going to say, why do you make $8 or $10 million a year or whatever it is you make? And also, okay, fine. You don't want us to point fingers at that person? Then we're going to point fingers at you. Why does your offense suck? Can you talk to us? Explain this to us.
I would start with that from here on out if I were a columnist in Madison.
Since you've taken full responsibility.
Yeah, we're not gonna we can't ask you who your defensive coordinator is, who your offensive coordinator is, who calls plays, who's in charge of what the hell are we talking about? That's insane.
Yeah, why do they score touchdowns?
Yeah.
What does it matter? Who's in that uniform number? Yeah. Who cares?
I don't think it's important.
And people, a lot of the people that watch this are, cross over from the Florida State fan base. Wisconsin's the passion of Wisconsin football is unbelievable.
Their fan base is awesome.
Sometimes I think we can, on the East Coast or in the Southeast, we can look at other parts of the country and whether how much they really care about college football. They care about it as much as anybody. So this is not going to go over well.
No, that's a dumb answer, and it was a valid question. Ben, what do we got for the next coach?
Let's go to the Big Ten again for more offensive coordinator talk. This is Coach Speak legend, Dana Holgorsen, who is the new Nebraska offensive coordinator. Yeah. And he's already calling players out. What do you guys think of it?
Good.
Guys, I said, you guys are fairly big kids. I know 17's not a big kid, but he's a tough kid. But there's some good-sized kids out there, 16, 18, 4. These guys, 29, these guys are big bodies. I'm like, why are you not blocking worth the crap on the perimeter? It's embarrassing. You got being a receiver, you think, want touches, throw me the ball. First thing I said to him, if you don't start blocking out there, then you're not going to get the ball thrown to you.
Come to Tallahassee, Dana. Come to Tallahassee, buddy. You've never seen people not block as well as Florida State doesn't block.
I love it looks like they just went to Walmart and got him a hat.
Yeah.
Which
he's stuffing his hair into the back of it.
Yeah.
Dude, well, at one point during that press conference, he lifts up the hat. Yeah. He needs to keep the hat on.
Got to give it up, Dana.
Don't.
But then also, maybe this is how he always talks. There's a good chance he didn't know those kids' names.
Oh, he definitely didn't know their names.
And that's why he's listing their numbers.
Yeah.
Okay.
100%. So he got there like 2 weeks ago.
Still, it's
as
been
an
2
analyst.
weeks.
I know he got there
2 weeks.
2 weeks ago as an analyst, then gets named play caller and offensive coordinator within like a week, and now he's ripping the receivers and calling them embarrassing. So we'll see how that works out. I'm not real confident. I'm not sure how the kids in Nebraska are feeling about Dana at this point.
I think the fans will be okay with it.
Oh yeah, sure.
Like you tell them, Coach. You tell them they can't ever get to a bowl. They can't get to a bowl.
Hey, did you see that stat, Corey?
I know it's been 8 years, right? Oh, all the times they've had a chance to get bowl
14 times they've played with a chance to go to a bowl, and they have lost all 14 times.
And most of them are like by 6 points.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's inconceivable that they have not been to a bowl since 2016. I can't, for people anywhere near our age, it's inconceivable. It's just a bowl game. It's just 6 wins.
Yeah. It's just 6 wins. A paltry 6 wins. They can't get there.
The last time they were in a bowl, kids played in bowl games. That's how long ago it was.
They did not
Nobody opted out.
Right.
Yeah.
Artezia water, Ira. Tell everybody how they can wet their palate.
They showed this delicious crystal clear from the Florida aquifer. Artesiawater.com is the website Artezia water.com. And they service the panhandle of Florida over to like Monticello, east of Tallahassee, up into South Georgia and South Alabama. And it's from, as we said, fresh from the Florida aquifer. It's family owned, locally owned, great customer service. We all have the service. I've got my empty jugs on the porch right now, Jeff.
They're waiting. They're waiting right now.
We should be getting a new delivery. Nothing better. And you can have some too. If you go to artesiawater.com or call the number that's on the website and mention Coach Speak, you'll get your first month free. Start the service. The jugs will start coming. You will never want to stop Artesia Water. Once it starts flowing through your veins.
Love the jugs.
I just got mine switched out 2 days ago.
There you go.
So you leave to go do something, you come back, you got fresh jugs in front of your door.
You also you've got your private hotline. Like you send the text alert. Hey,
that's true. And guys, if you're watching this,
everybody else does not have that service.
No. If you're watching this, give me a text and I'll make some texts for you. You know what I mean? You'll get on my private hotline too.
When the guy drops off my jugs today, I'm going to ask him for his phone number. It may be awkward. I'm going to ask him for his phone number so I can start texting him. Hey, I'm
getting dry. Getting dry. Yep.
Yeah. It's the Sahara over here, buddy. Let's go.
Let's go, Artesia.
What do we got, Ben?
Hey, let's check in on our friend Bill O'Brien. Been a while since we've heard from him, and he was just a peach after a loss to SMU. Of course, I will say the last clip, there's a little jump cut in here, but I added the last clip because there's two reporters talking over each other, and Bill just looks so annoyed, and it's hilarious. So,
next to Trevor. Did SMU's game plan offensively match what you expected, essentially?
That's our guy from earlier.
Yes.
Oh, Bill.
Wait.
Kevin Stone?
Ben, can you replay that whole thing? Because first of all, we get the speed question guy, and then we just get a one-word answer.
But also, what is going on with the light, and why is he thinking like aliens are landing?
They always do the Zoom thing, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, can we play it again, Ben?
We'll go next to Trevor. Did SMU's game plan offensively match what you expected, essentially?
Yes.
That's awesome.
Kevin Stone.
Hey, Coach. 6-15 on third down, pretty good. Just what'd you see on third today?
Yeah, it was a lot of going to go for it on fourth down. So third down, those stats don't really reflect what it was. You know what I mean? We're going for it on fourth down. So the third down stats, you can write about that, but it's not really what reflective of what we were trying to do. Trying to score touchdowns, going for it on how many times we go for it on fourth down? 6 or 7?
Oh, that's a lot.
That's what you should ask about, but that's all right. Go ahead. Next question.
That's what you should
This is sorry.
Luke, go ahead.
Jeff, you look down. When you look down, you need to. I wish Ben could play it again. You look down right when
Trevor.
Bill O'Brien closes his eyes and shakes his head and wonders, how the hell did I get here?
Yeah, just in disgust.
It's
Luke, go ahead.
There it is.
Yeah, right there. Oh, no.
It's like, I can't believe I used to be an NFL head coach.
I was a NFL head coach in GM. I had both roles.
I'm on a Zoom with the fastest talking Boston college football reporters. Oh my god!
On the wrong end of a game against SMU, and I got these clowns talking over me.
I don't like to criticize questions, especially Zoom questions for a Boston College game. I know that's not the bread and butter of the Boston media.
Mm-mm.
But even the question about the third down doesn't make. He said 6 of 15 on third down. Well, that's not bad.
Right.
He even said
pretty good. Yeah.
He even said 6:15. That's pretty good or whatever. And then, but Bill O'Brien took his offense.
But the question was, what were you seeing on third down? What is that? Just trying to phrase it.
Just a question to ask a question. That's not a real anything.
Well, so I appreciate Bill using that as a teaching moment and be like, why don't you ask about the 7 times we went for it on fourth down?
That's the better question, but anyhow,
But anyhow, whatever. Y'all talk over each other for a second.
Ask whatever the hell you want. Write about whatever you want.
That's awesome.
Good one, Ben. What do we got now?
All right, let's go up to the Pacific Northwest, and Washington State head coach Jake Dickert talks about the relationship with his buddy, Oregon State. In the Pac-2 now. I guess the Pac-2's expanded.
Yeah.
It's getting bigger.
Washington and Oregon State, the only 2 common opponents from last year to this year. How does that change, the last couple weeks preparing for somebody you guys maybe haven't faced in a couple years to now, a familiar team, like you said, new head coach?
Well, first thing, I've never gotten into they're our buddy. Oregon State's not our buddy, right? You know what I mean? They would have left us as fast as we would have left them. You know what I mean? This is what it is. It's one of our biggest rivals now. That's the way I've looked at it. And that's not bulletin board material. I just hope they would say it the same way. Let's go compete. We've been waiting to compete with these guys, right? So they dealt with a lot of adversity. We've dealt with a lot of adversity. I think it's going to be an energized. It's going to be a great, obviously their stadium's going to be packed. I think there's going to be a lot of Cougs there. So I think it's an energizing football game. That's what I mean by that. And to know that this is going to be an opponent that we're going to play for a long time, let's go do it. Because all the ones I've been in my 4 years here, they've been heck of ball games. I'm trying to think back to 2020, 2021. Oh man, we won at the last second at the 2-yard line. 22. Last time we went there, we kind of laid an egg. 23 last year. What a game that was!
Classic.
So it's been a battle. So excited to go back out there and really compete.
First of all, I just want to say real quick, I love that guy.
I do too.
I loved him last year. Remember, he was the one.
He ripped Corso, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, but he also, the thing with Cam Ward, he's like, man, they're coming for our quarterback.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
like, our quarterback's going to get taken away by NIL. It was like in the middle of the year.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
like, we already know our quarterback is going to be taken away by, which was awesome. But anyway,
I also appreciate
I like that guy.
Brutal honesty of
Yes.
we'd have left their ass just as quick as they'd have left ours.
We're in this together only because we got left here.
We got
stuck
left
on the
behind,
island.
guys. Let's call it for what it is.
That's awesome.
That's somebody that tells it like it is, gang.
He sounds kind of like a football coach, Norm Macdonald. Like there's a weird,
Oh,
I don't
wow.
know. There's something I like. I just like that dude.
If he starts telling 15-minute jokes that meander,
Right.
it's going to be incredible.
Yeah.
I'll be very pleased. What do we got, Ben?
All right, next up we've got Tennessee coach Josh Heupel, post-game versus Georgia, getting interrupted by the Georgia fight song on someone's ringtone.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I haven't seen this, but I've heard it. I heard about it.
Got to coach a little better. We got to play a little better.
David, then Chris. Josh, obviously Nico had a unique week. Can you talk about when you felt good, when he felt good, or you felt good with him, and just kind of
being trolled.
Can you repeat the question? Sorry.
Yeah. Nico obviously had a unique
Couldn't
week.
hear it
Can
over
you
the
talk
Georgia
about when you
fight
felt good,
song.
When he felt good, that he was able to go tonight, and just how you felt he played.
Yeah, our medical staff handled it throughout the week, and ultimately got cleared when we got.
This is incredibly uncomfortable. I got really, that was bothering me. I was like, it's when the kid asked the question in class that everybody knows is the dumbest question you've ever heard, and you're like, oh.
And then he has to repeat it.
Yeah.
So is it coming from inside the room?
My theory is that was at Georgia, right?
Yes.
My theory is that's one of those backdrops, and maybe somebody's walking behind it or something.
Couldn't have been walking, Ira, because we heard it for.
Well, or standing behind it and trolling. I don't think it was anybody in the press conference.
But
I think
there's a wall on the other side of it.
But it may just be a backdrop. Like it might be one of those, like a banner, like you were talking about before.
No, I've been there. Unless they changed it, I haven't been there in 15 years. I think it's right up against a wall, and on the other side is like a walkway. But the way it stopped so quickly the second time is, to me, the tell that it's somebody in the room that got a lot of side glances. That's what I think.
I think it's probably one
It's
of the reporters
awesome.
for the team site.
Maybe, yeah.
Right.
But I just think it would have got stopped. It would have got, that whole thing with I just don't think it could keep playing. At first, if it was somebody he could see, I think he would have looked at that person, stared daggers into their soul.
I have a theory, Ira.
All right.
I bet, because we've done this before, somebody might have left their phone there to record Heupel as they went to go get Kirby. And so they're not there when somebody's calling them.
That's a good theory.
And it just runs and runs. And when it starts going again, the person next to him, because the person there's like, this is not my phone. When he's there, this guy sitting next to the phone is like, nope, I'm going to turn this off now. Either way,
it's incredible.
It's unbelievable. It's awesome. It's just, nobody could feel bad for Josh Heupel about anything.
Nope.
And the fact that thing is playing over for 20 seconds after he just got beat by Georgia again.
Who's Tennessee play this week?
What's their fight song?
No. I just think it would be awesome if afterwards somebody had the Georgia fight song, no matter who they're playing.
It just follows them wherever he goes.
Yeah. It is.
Excuse me, Coach. Sorry, I got to take this real quick.
It's the Tennessee reporter with the Georgia fight song.
So, and real quick, they're covering these press conferences in college football stadiums, and we've all been there, but just kind of taking the curtain back a little bit. When most of these times, the visiting coach press conference, as we talked about earlier with Mick Cronin, is they're usually in like weird places. Like they're not necessarily like big auditoriums for the visiting press conference. So you end up with some weird things. Like I remember one time Florida State, when they lost at Syracuse, and like the band's walking through, like Syracuse's band, the famed Syracuse band,
right,
is walking behind.
You don't disrespect.
And they're just screaming and hollering, and you're trying to do a press conference. You'll hear like the other band's drum line will be in the hallway, just banging away, celebrating after. there's just a lot of times visiting coaches get stuck in some weird situations. This is an all-timer, though.
By the way, Tennessee plays UTEP this week, and so it'd be especially cool if he's in the middle of talking about the UTEP game and the Georgia fight song goes off.
But also, so that's got to be a ringtone, right? That's somebody's ringtone, I guess.
I so.
Sure. Yeah.
It's still funny. It's actually more funny that it's that, because who's in the press conference? I just think if you were outside the press conference, it wouldn't pick up so clearly. That's why I think you might be in the room. But it's just whoever. Like, imagine every time somebody called you, the Warchant started. I mean, that would be incredible.
My father has that on his phone, and I've told him before, Dad, I get it. You're an Ole, I'm an Ole. That's wonderful. Let's pick something else here.
But he's not in a press conference.
No, I'm just saying.
In a lot of time, and again, you don't do it as much because everybody's videotaping, but we used to put our phones or tape recorders up on this dais where the coach is talking. It would have been great if it was up there playing it, and he just picked up the phone and threw it into a wall.
And threw it. Yeah, it got sued, got arrested.
Who do we got, Ben?
All right, I had to play that one before I give you guys Shane Beamer, just to warm you up a little bit. But this is Shane talking about a player who, a former player, I should say, who told Shane they weren't going to be any good before he transferred. And, of course, Shane did not forget.
Oh, no.
Program after last season, and one of the reasons he told me that we were leaving is he said, I don't think we're going to be very good and we don't have a quarterback. Like, he told me that. And I said, well, I disagree. We got us a quarterback. You've seen, our quarterbacks at practice, and we're going to be good around him. And that player said, I don't know, Coach, it ain't looking too good. Well, he's somewhere else right now, and there's a lot of guys that are here and are glad they're here as well.
I don't think that happened. I'm going to call him a liar. I don't believe any of that happened. I don't think a player said that to him. I don't think any of that he made the whole fucking thing up because he's insane, guys. He's insane.
He's definitely insane. There's a chance that would you be surprised if a kid from South Carolina told him, I don't think we're going to be any good next year?
No. You're right, Corey. There is absolutely a chance. I'm just saying it didn't happen.
It also,
with him. Okay. Yeah.
It's also like the conversation kind of gone a bunch of like, dude, really, you're leaving? You want to go in the portal? What's going on? And the kid's like, yeah, man, I feel like I have a better chance to be successful somewhere else. I mean, it could have been phrased a lot of different ways.
Yeah, I'm quite sure it was, Ira.
Yeah.
I don't think it happened the way he just said it did.
Man, what if he ends up building South Carolina into a national power, and he becomes like the most powerful man in the state, crushes Dabo yearly, and starts winning championships? If it does, though, we're all going to have to bow. I mean, nobody's ever won big at South Carolina. Nobody ever. Yeah. If he's the guy that somehow figures it out,
he's not going to, Corey.
If you're taking those bets, Jeff and I,
no, you're not even letting me get to my point. If it does happen, imagine the ego.
Oh, I mean,
like he's already got an ego the size of Nick Saban.
Yeah.
Imagine if he actually starts doing some great things at the SEC level. He wouldn't even be able to fit into a room. He would stop doing press conferences because he would deem them beneath him.
It's very uncomfortable every time he speaks. It's hard to do that. Like there are a lot of really detestable people in the world and high-profile positions that we see all the time. And I don't think I've ever counted them amongst people that can never have an ordinary conversation, right?
He's one of them, yeah.
He's one. He cannot do it to the point where he just has to make shit up, which is what he's doing right there. Ben, what do we got?
Allegedly. Shane, allegedly. I believe you, dog. I know somebody was
Shane.
questioning.
Go ahead, buddy. Let's go.
All right, we got two more. This is another feel-good clip. This is our guy, Kenny Dillingham. And don't ask him about the Big 12 tiebreaker scenarios because he has no idea how they work.
I literally have no. Somebody was telling me if we win and somebody else loses and then like ranch dressing falls on a wing, I don't really know. It just play the very best you can play, prepare the very best you can prepare. And like I told the guys last week in my leadership council meeting, like, don't get lost in the sauce. Like, just be the very best we can be over and over again. And wherever we end up is the best we could have ever done. That's it. Like, you can wish and hope, but if you just play the very best you can play and prepare the very best you can prepare, then regardless of what happens, it's the very maximum you could have ever achieved anyways. So what else do you want? So I have no clue the tiebreaker. Some of the players probably do. I couldn't even tell you.
But he does want to eat wings.
I'm gonna. This is 2 in a row. I'm gonna join you, Jeff, and say that's not true. I think Kenny knows the tiebreakers. But I get the message is fine. The message is fine, but there's no way he doesn't know the tiebreaker. It's along the lines of the coaches who don't know how to use email or don't know how to get on the internet.
Yeah, you're right. That's perfect, Ira. That's perfect.
Like,
Yeah, every older coach, because they don't want to engage in it, will tell you they don't understand computers.
With Twitter, whatever you call it.
What do you guys? The cell phones? I don't have a cell phone. Bullshit.
Browser, internet browser.
You have a cell phone and you use emails every day. Yeah.
Yeah, and it doesn't, like, you could say, yeah, man, I understand the tiebreaker, but I mean, I know what the tiebreaker is and what has to happen, but it's so convoluted. Right. There's no point in even wondering about it right now. But he had a good line. He got to have a good line about the ranch on the chicken wing. By the way, that's the way to go. I don't have any problem when ranch falls on my chicken wing.
Blue cheese is the way to go.
Ranch and blue cheese are both gross.
No, blue cheese is what my preference, but either one gets on my chicken wing.
Ira's in the minority here. Ranch and blue cheese
Kenny.
Both whoop ass.
I'm with Kenny. Hold it all.
No, Kenny didn't say he didn't like ranch on the blue.
He said ranch falls onto a chicken wing.
Yeah, I think
he has
Kenny will eat it.
Experience with some ranch on that wing, Ira.
Ira, your palate. You should not even talk about your palate.
It's Kenny. What was it last year? What was his the fries thing?
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, he did. I can't remember. He's got some
garlic
doozies,
truffle
man.
guys.
Truffle fries. Truffle
That's
fries.
Right. The fancy ones. The fancy
Yeah.
fries. God love them. Hey, he's having a great year too.
He is.
Good for him.
We like him. I'm not mad at you for lying, Kenny. I think it's the right approach.
It's a white lie.
I don't believe you. Yeah,
it's a white lie. It's not a made up lie, as Jeff is alleging Shane Bieber. Just a straight up fabricated story.
Yeah, he just straight up made that up. That never happened.
Yeah, we've all seen now Ira.
Yeah.
Ira likes bone dry wings.
He's recoiled at the sight of it.
Yeah, we've all seen wings with ranch on them, except for Ira, who doesn't like anything.
I'm going to get some ranch in wings tonight because we're talking about it. I can't help myself.
I'm starting to like. I want some too.
I'm going to feel some wings with some ranch and blue cheese. Ira, smother it.
Blasphemy.
Yeah. What do we got, buddy?
All right, let's go from Kenny to Ken. Ken Niumatalolo, now at San Jose State, Navy legend, and he's given his thoughts on NIL.
Season, UNLV had sort of a quarterback controversy with NIL money coming into play before Matthew Sluka kind of removed himself from the team. So as someone who's been around the college landscape for a long time, how do you see NIL kind of influencing the college game from here?
Well, it's here, and it's not going anywhere, and it's real. I mean, I was listening to a Division I coach talk, and I don't want to say his name, but he said it publicly in his press conference, like the going rate for a really good starter quarterback is $1 million, and the top guys get more than that. I mean, it is what it is, and we won't be shopping at that store, so we just know that. Yeah. Sometimes we can go window shopping, take a look. Oh, that's nice. Okay, keep walking. Just head to the swap meet. You know what I mean? Just
to the swap meet.
But our guys, I love our kids though. We recognize in our kids when we recruit them. If kids like, Coach, how much money you guys got? Like,
nothing.
You got one sauce for your burrito. I mean, that's our mantra. We're the one sauce burrito school. Either take the verde or the rojo, but you can't take the red or the green. Just one of each. And
you get one sauce.
But it's we kind of joke that way, but it's kind of the kind of kids we have. You know what I mean? Because we don't have NIL money here. Our kids are grateful for this facility. They're grateful for what they get to eat. But NIL is going to be a huge part.
We feed
them. You can see the teams are preparing for the 105. They're already preparing for revenue sharing, how you're going to allocate that money and where it all goes and all that kind of stuff. So those are some discussions that a lot of people are talking about. Obviously, budget-wise, we're in a totally different deal, but those are all discussions you have to have. It's part of recruiting. It's part of college football, and it's not going to go away. If anything, it'll continue to grow.
I like that dude.
He's likable. Yes.
He's very likable.
What is the one sauce burrito?
Food.
You can get the green sauce or the red sauce.
You
can't
can get the
both.
verde sauce or the rojo.
Yeah. You can get the green or the red. You can't get both. They only have enough money for one sauce with your burrito.
By the way, I'm a verde sauce guy. Ira, do you like the sauces?
I'm a red sauce guy.
Of course he is.
We figured out that we've got a lot of differences.
we do. We figured that out today. Of course he's a red sauce guy.
Yeah.
But I guess I was thinking more about you could still go to get salsa and put it. If you're
not
in
at New
the store,
Mexico State.
Yeah, or wherever he is, San Jose State.
Wherever the hell it is.
Yeah, that's not happening. You're right. But it's a very good line that they get one sauce on their burrito.
And he's like, "We're not shopping at that store." Yeah, honey, you can look in that window.
Yeah,
but we're not shopping.
We'll walk past Tiffany's.
Yeah,
keep it going. Keep it going.
Then he follows all that with, but I love our kids.
Love our kids.
They're grateful for food, for shelter.
They're not worth anything. They're not worth it a dime.
They're
other than
lucky
some
to
sauce.
be alive.
Yeah, but they're here playing. They're Division I football players.
So I think that was our last one. Who's our?
I'm going to go with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the Dickert guy. I really like the Dickert guy.
This was better though, Ira. Not that hey, we all have our opinions. Choose who you want, but I'm with Jeff. We had some humor. There was some insight there.
Yeah.
You know, it was the perfect coach speak clip.
So real quick, since we're on this topic before we go. So when you go in a store like that you can't afford, that he brought up, like when you're window shopping and you're Saks Fifth Avenue or wherever, and you're thinking, when you walk in there, do you think, I feel like they know I can't afford anything here.
Yeah, they're looking at you, buddy.
Do they really know that?
No.
Do the employees
they can't know that. You could be internet rich, man. Who knows, right? You may not have the look of a businessman.
There are multimillionaires that look like homeless people.
Most of them.
And also, these days, you can't be sure that somebody comes in looking like a vagrant and is worth $100 million, and you're about to be on YouTube.
Some video.
You're going to be on a video. So you got to treat everybody like they're a superstar.
You can see that guy literally put the needle in his arm.
Yeah, you're like, okay, this is a prank. This is a prank.
He's a millionaire, guys.
I'm gonna have more confidence now when I go into this.
Please do. Just act like you got somebody recording you somewhere.
Artezia Water, thank you so much as always. ArtesiaWater.com. Good job, Ben. Good job, Corey and Ira. I'm Jeff. Until next time, everybody, enjoy the football. Peace.